had fun with a lot of stuff back when I was in college. Right? It's easier to have fun when you're going to school, have less responsibilities. I had fun with an ant infestation. Might sound unusual, but it's true. I had a terrible, terrible ant infestation my senior year, like thousands and thousands of ants. Never considered calling an exterminator. Overjoyed that they were pouring into the house. Why call an exterminator? You don't call for backup, when you declared war. Those ants march into a house of death. I used to like to lure them onto the kitchen counter with some maple syrup. Maybe they think it was a sign of peace. Maybe I wanted to sign a tiny little treaty with them. They were horribly mistaken. I'd let them gather, then I'd get a can of WD-40 to match. Hello, napalm. This is war, ants. I'd burn them, but I'd leave a few alive, and I'd watch them walk back into the wall and pretend they were sending a message to the Queen. He's gone mad, Your Majesty. He burned Richard. That's exactly how they talk inside my head. If you want to have fun with ants, but you don't want to actually hurt them like that, you can also just kind of psychologically torture them. I discovered how to do that as well. Take one ant, put him in a Tupperware container full of sugar, seal him in, and just start laughing. This is his worst nightmare. All the sugar he could ever want, nowhere to take it. Walk around and around, just losing his tiny mind. After like an hour, you take him out, throw him back on the anthill, and laugh some more. They're gonna have questions he can't answer. We smell the sugar, Nigel. Where is it? I do not know, sire. I do not know. Yeah, those ants were British. All ants are British because they colonize. Saw the new It movie earlier this year. That was pretty good. That's pretty good. I wouldn't have been able to see that many years ago because I was too scared of clowns. I used to be really scared of clowns because of a childhood incident. When I was a little kid, about 7 years old, wasn't supposed to be watching, like HBO, those kind of channels, but I'd always try and sneak it. And one time I started watching it, and it was this movie Poltergeist, the original Poltergeist, right? If you've seen that movie, you know that there's a scene, there's a little boy, maybe like 8 or 9 years old, somewhere around there, and he has this clown doll sitting in the corner of his room. And then when the house goes crazy with all this like demonic activity, one night he wakes up and the clown doll's gone, it's under his bed, tries to strangle him. Well, unfortunately for me, that clown doll wasn't a prop made for the movie. It was just a regular clown doll that you could buy at any toy store that I happened to have an exact replica of. It was my favorite toy for whatever reason, sitting in the corner of my room. It was so close to the movie. At that point, it's like I'm not even watching the movie. It's like I'm looking through a wormhole into my own horrific future. So I completely panic, but I don't want to tell my mom because I'm going to get in trouble. If she finds out I'm watching something I'm not supposed to. So I think, I got to deal with this in-house. And in my little kid brain, what made sense was to take the clown doll downstairs, hang him from a doorknob, and just kind of work him for about 30 minutes. Just punch him and kick him and talk tough. You're not gonna stay with me, stupid clown. And then that backfired. Because about 20 minutes into the beating, I thought, well, if he wasn't upset before, now he's legitimately angry. He has a reason to try and strangle me. So I threw him in the trash. And that's where the story should have ended. And would have ended if my mom hadn't taken out the trash that night and thought, oh, hey, Danny threw away his favorite toy by mistake. I'll just put him back in the corner of his room while he's asleep. Worst case scenario. I woke up early the next morning to use the bathroom, about lost my mind. Clowny magically back in the corner, staring at me, and he seemed angry. He seemed angry to me. Had recurring nightmares for weeks after that. Became phobically afraid of clowns for a long time. But then I got over it. You gotta face your fears, that's what they say. You gotta face them head on. So I was proud of myself. couple years ago, I didn't like it. It was hard, but I went to the circus alone. A couple clowns came out and I wanted to leave. They're pretty creepy, but I thought, no, you're not going to win again. I stayed for the entire circus performance, and then I had the courage, when the circus was over, to find one of those clowns and follow him home. Let's see how you like it. And I waited for him to fall asleep, and I snuck in his house, and I sat in the corner of his room. And when he woke up, you should have seen the look on his face. The smile was painted on, but the tears were real.